channel. So in the today's lecture, we will take a look at one example in which we will be finding the candidate keys. Okay. In this example, we will try to find the number of candidate keys possible. So we have a one relation in which these 6 attributes are given: A, B, C, D, E, H. Okay. So with the help of attributes, what we did, we try to find out the functional dependencies among the attributes. Okay. By looking at the attributes, okay, we identified all of the functional dependency possible. Okay. So these are the functional dependencies we have. Now, what we have to do with the help of these functional dependencies, we have to find out the candidate keys. Okay. So these are the 4 options given. We have to pick one option out of these 4 options. Okay. So we have to find the total number of candidate keys possible in this example. Okay. So what is the shortcut way to find out the candidate key is look at the right hand side of all of the functional dependencies. Okay. And why we need to study the candidate keys, that how we can find it and how it is really helpful. You know, why we are giving so much importance to the candidate keys. Because if you don't have any candidate key in your table, then there would be no accuracy in your data. Okay, your database design would be very poor. If you have a candidate key, you can search for any other attribute value just with the help of the candidate key. Okay, if you know the candidate key, you can determine any another attribute value. Okay, so now, firstly, how we will be finding out the candidate key? Just look at the right hand side of all of the functional dependencies. Okay, so B, D, C and A. Okay, so if you look at the right hand side, we don't have E and H attribute. There is no E and H attribute present at the right hand side of the functional dependencies. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that we cannot determine E and H attribute. Okay, and what is the meaning of candidate key? Candidate key is something with the help of which you can determine the value of each and every attribute. Okay, but E and H attribute cannot be determined with the help of these functional dependencies. Then what we have to do? We have to include both these E and H attribute into the candidate key. Okay, because the meaning of candidate key is it should determine each and every attribute of the relation. Okay, so we should include E and H attribute into the candidate key. Okay, what we will try now? Find the closure. Try to find what are the various attributes we can determine with the help of these attributes. Okay, with the help of EH, firstly we will be determining E and H attribute. Then if you look at with the help of E, I can determine attribute C. So if you look at with the help of EH, okay, we are just able to determine only the C attribute. Okay, when we call any attribute attribute as the key attribute or the candidate key, when with the help of that key we are able to determine all of the other attributes. But with the help of EH, I am just able to determine only C. So EH cannot be the candidate key. Okay, EH alone cannot be the candidate key. Okay, so now it is sure that we have to include both these attributes into the candidate key. But alone EH is not sufficient to be candidate key. So if you look at, this option is wrong and this option is wrong. Why? Because we have to definitely include EH into the candidate key. But if you look in both these options, EH is not actually present. So both these options are definitely going to be wrong. So now let's try to see if AEH can become the candidate key. Okay, AEH become the candidate key. Let's try to check. So AEH, we have to find the closure of it. So firstly we will be getting AEH. Okay, then look at this E. Okay, E is able to determine the C attribute. If you are given any value of E, it can determine C. Alone E is sufficient to determine the value of C. Okay, then definitely AEH would be able to determine the value of C. Okay, if alone E is sufficient, then definitely AEH would be able to determine the value of C. Okay, so now if you look at A alone is sufficient to determine the value of B. Okay, A alone is sufficient to determine the value of B. Then definitely AEH would be able to determine the value of B. Okay. Now, if you look at, with the help of AEH, we can determine BC. Okay. If you are given the value of AEH, what we can do? We can uniquely determine the value of B and C. Okay. And B and C further is able to determine the D. Okay. With the help of AEH, you are able to determine B and C values. Okay. And BC is further able to determine the value of D. So definitely AEH would be able to determine the value of D. Okay. If you look at the transitivity. Okay. AEH is determining BC. BC is further determining D. What does that mean? For each and every value of AEH, you are getting unique value of BC. And further, for each and every value of BC, you are getting one value for D. So definitely AEH would be able to determine the value of D. Okay. So now with the help of AEH, if you are given value of AEH, you are able to determine the value of attributes B, C and D. So what does it mean? It means that if you are given value of AEH and you are asked to find any value of any attribute, you can easily determine the value of any other attribute. So we can call AEH as the candidate key. So this option is right. AEH is the correct option. With the help of this I give you value of BEH and I ask you to find the value of B, or I ask you to find the value of E, or I ask you to find the value of H, you can easily determine any of these attributes. Now, look at this functional dependency. With the help of BEH, you can uniquely get the value of E. Okay? And E is further determining the value of C. For each and every value of E, you get one single value for attribute C. Okay? So definitely with the help of BEH, we will be determining C. If alone E is sufficient to determine the value of C, then definitely BEH would be sufficient to determine the value C. Okay, so now if you look at, with the help of BEH, we are able to uniquely determine the value of B and C attribute. And B and C combinedly determine the value of D. Okay, if you give any value of BEH, you can uniquely determine value of B and C. If you are given value of B and C, any value in the relation, you are able to determine value of D. So definitely from BEH, you would be able to determine the value of D. Okay. Okay. So now if you look at, with the help of BEH, we are able to determine value of D. If I give you any value of BEH and you are getting the value of D uniquely. Okay. And if I give you value of D, you are able to determine value of A uniquely. So definitely with the help of BEH, you would be able to determine the value of A. Okay. So if you look at, with the help of BEH, we are able to uniquely determine all the other attribute values. Okay. So we can call BEH also as the candidate key. Now we have to choose between these two keys, whether CEH key is right or whether DEH key is right. Let's check. Firstly, let me take CEH. So obviously, with the help of CEH, I can get any attribute values, either C or E or H uniquely. Okay. If you look at, now you cannot determine any more attribute from this key. Okay. You cannot determine any more attribute from this key. If you look at BC, we don't have any BC here. If you look at A, we don't have any A. If you look at this D, we don't have any D here. So you cannot take CEH as your candidate key. Okay. So obviously this option is wrong. The third option is wrong. Now let me check for DEH, if we can make DEH as a candidate key. So with the help of DEH, all these three attributes I will be determining. Okay. Now if you look at, alone E is enough to determine the value of C. Okay. And any number of attributes you are adding with E, definitely you would be determining attribute C value. Okay. So you would be able to determine C. If you look at, alone D is enough to determine the value of A. So any number of attributes you adding with it, definitely you would be determining the value of A. Okay. So with the help of DEH, I am able to determine the value of A. If I give you value of D, E and H, I can determine the value of A. Okay. And if I give you any value getting unique value of B. Okay, so definitely as per the transitive dependency, with the help of DEH, we would also be able to determine the value of B. Okay, so if you are given D, E and H attribute value, with the help of it, you can determine all the other attributes value, all the other 6 attributes, or all the other 5 attributes value. So obviously DEH would be your candidate key. Okay. The fourth option is right. AEH, BEH and DEH. Okay, this fourth option is right. So I hope that now you understood the importance of candidate key. If you don't have candidate key, then we would have a lot of problem in searching the data. To make our search easier, it is very important to have a one candidate key. Okay, with the help of which you can get the knowledge of any attribute of your relation. Okay, so I hope that you are clear with this example. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you have any query, I have mentioned my email ID in the description box. You can contact me on that email ID.